Debating. Well, old-style fuel isn't faring much better. Two of Britain's last three remaining deep-pit coal mines are facing closure tonight with the loss of hundreds of miners' jobs. It'll add to the growing row within the coalition over energy policy, with David Cameron reported today to be considering a manifesto pledge to block future wind farms if the Tories win the next election. Our political correspondent Michael Crick has this.
It was only last November that Thoresby, the last pit in Nottinghamshire, was blessed with a visit from George Osborne, the Chancellor proclaiming his success in creating jobs.
Look, I'm here at the end of a week where jobs are being created in this country, unemployment is coming down, inflation is down, and my message is very clear. I want to make sure that as Britain recovers from all that went wrong 5 years ago, we make sure all parts of the country benefit.
But maybe not here, for 600 jobs will now be lost at Thoresby as UK Coal prepares to close the colliery and its one other remaining deep mine in Britain, Kellingley in North Yorkshire. 700 jobs will be lost there. In farmland just off the A1 in Bedfordshire, an energy source that was meant to help replace coal. 10 wind turbines which started last year in defiance of huge anger locally. But now, amid similar fears all over Britain, the Tories are considering a cap on onshore wind farms, limiting their growth to those now running, being built or already approved.
They are an eyesore. We get nothing out of it for the village, really. It's all going to Bedfordshire Council, it's all going to the local area. Nothing for Langford. We don't get any cheaper electricity, we don't get any cheaper rates, we don't get any cheaper anything.
So the Conservatives lost your vote over this,
Yeah.
and they won't get it back by promising limits.
It's the future, isn't it? And there's a lot of old people in the village, I suppose, and I suppose they can't look into the future, can they? I haven't got a problem with them, not one bit.
The trouble with such a pledge politically is that while it may placate some angry residents in areas like this, taken together with other recent government measures which have annoyed environmentalists, it could make it all the harder for David Cameron to maintain his claim that he heads the greenest government in history.
It's completely illogical. If the Conservatives are patriotic about this country, we need to produce our own energy, not be reliant on the Middle East and on Russia for imported gas. If we care about climate change, onshore wind is the cheapest of all renewables, and the surveys show that most people like it.
Wouldn't a manifesto commitment like this make these claims about being the greenest government ever totally bogus?
Well, I don't think that is the case. When we said we were going to be the greenest government ever, we had a certain objectives in terms of producing a certain amount of energy from the different sources, one of them being onshore wind, and that has been achieved. I mean, that is pretty well what's through the planning system already. I just don't think it's necessary to carry on going, damaging some of the most beautiful landscapes in Britain, when there are other ways that we should be focusing on. We've done hardly any work, really, yet on tapping the potential of marine development.
Yet Britain's energy sources are seeing big changes. 18 months from now, the employee-owned Hatfield colliery near Doncaster may be the only deep coal mine left in Britain. Almost exactly 30 years after the start of the 1984-5 miners' strike, a great industry which once employed 1.25 million men looks all but extinct.
Now the CIA